There is no better time to talk about turning pages in your life and chasing your dreams than when the leaves are turning.
For the last 8 months, we've been traveling around North America as digital nomads, living in the most iconic cities for a month at a time so we can fully immerse ourselves into their culture.
But it is time to hang up the full-time travel aspirations and shift to a new lifestyle. One that better suits the holistic lifestyle we want to live.
A life where we were able to focus on things besides just like what we're gonna do that day, what kind of content we're gonna do, where we're gonna live the next month. All of those things were taking over our life, and it is time to reprioritize.
So we are setting out to build our dream life, one that is multifaceted and encompasses all parts of our life and not just travel. And today we're gonna talk about why we are beginning this journey and how we're gonna do it. The first thing we want to talk about is our experience as digital nomads and ultimately why we stopped being full-time travelers. Being digital nomads was definitely one of the best experiences of at least my life. I would say, I think speak for the both of us here. I would not change it for the world. I think it's something that everyone should do at some point. I think you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about your relationship, and really what you want out of travel and work and pleasure and just general life things.
Yeah.
It is just so beautiful. This is why we want to do it out here. It's just it's incredibly stunning.
So like being a digital nomad had always been like a dream of ours. Well, actually, so it had always been like a dream of mine. I wanted to do like 12 countries in 12 months. And that was even before I met Quest. And then we were long distance for a while, and we were like kind of trying to figure out what we were gonna do once we stopped being long distance. And he told me that he wanted to like move around, and he's like, oh, you probably don't want to do that. And I was like, no, I've literally always wanted to do that. So we didn't even know, but that was like a dream that we both shared, and so to be able to do that together was really cool. So it was a few things. I think the first thing was that we were honestly just like a little bit tired. Like it's really exhausting having to like pick up and move every single month and like constantly like feel like you have to be doing something or else you're like wasting your time somewhere.
The second major reason we stopped being full-time travelers is we just want to reprioritize our life a little bit. At that time, we just prioritized travel and content creation over everything, and it really meant that the rest of our life was kind of slipping. So we just want to kind of pull back a little bit and reprioritize things like our health and wellness, just spending more time making sure we're eating healthy, working out more, spending more time with our friends and family. Traveling full-time is great, but it feels like you can't ever go spend time with your friends, or the events come up, you can't go do those things. You feel like you're obligated to stay. And then lastly, just like hobbies and other things we have going on in our life, just kind of reprioritizing those and focusing on things that we also enjoy outside of just traveling.
The third thing is that we kind of just missed having like a home, you know, like a place to like call ours and come back to. Like every single month we were staying in a different Airbnb, and so it's just like we never had a space that was ours, you know what I mean? And like that just really helped you to be able to like relax and just like recharge and stuff, and just like to constantly not have any place that you can call your own and like leave your stuff and like not have to like worry about packing it all up was just like, it was tough. So we definitely missed that. So then where did we decide to settle down? We actually decided to get a lease in Denver, Colorado, and so we've been there for the last like 3-4 months, and it's been really great so far. Yeah, we got a great spot in like downtown Denver, right next to a lot of like key places to hang out and a lot of good bars and restaurants and things to do, and I couldn't be happy with our choice. So it's a beautiful place. Raining. And now it's raining. Lovely. So it has started raining while we're doing this hike, this beautiful hike. Of course it is. So we're gonna take a quick intermission on this video, and we'll pick this back up at home. And we're back. Woo.
We made it home, out of the rain, safe and sound.
Yeah, that was sad.
That was sad. McKellen has currently gotten a little sick since this video.
I'm dying.
Our last piece of this video, she is now dying. And we don't know if we're gonna be able to get to Japan because she's dying.
Yeah.
So hopefully we at least have her funeral before her flight takes off, so at least I can go to Japan. But
hey.
What?
Now we have settled down in Denver. We signed a lease here. We're really excited about it. And it is funny because, as you'll see in another video, Denver is actually not one of our top cities. Well, like it was, but it wasn't. Like the reason why we chose to live here, obviously we do like it a lot, but I think it had more personal reasons than like the city itself. For me, like my family lives here. This is where I went to high school, so I've got like friends that live here. It's home, so we'll always have a special place in my heart.
For me, it is not technically home. I'm from North Carolina, so this is a little far from home. But it was the place that I was in before we started being digital nomads. And so I also have a decent amount of roots here with a good set of friends. And I've really grown to like this place a lot. And I love the mountains, and I think that was one of the big reasons we wanted to settle down here, is that after being digital nomads for 8 months, we didn't necessarily want to start a whole new life somewhere else just yet. We kind of were good to go with all the new things happening all the time. We were ready to kind of settle and be more comfortable for a little bit, and then kind of regroup and go back towards traveling more often and doing more things like that. So it was just really easy to kind of get adjusted and to get back into things and feel relaxed and comfortable and work on the other priorities that we were talking about before, and not necessarily feel like we're building a whole new life, making new friends, finding places to live, things like that. So, all right, so this takes us into the next portion of our video. What does it mean for FTX now that we're not full-time travelers, full-time digital nomads? The travel does not stop, baby. You know us, we love to travel. We're just doing things slightly differently this time. And really walk you through what our dream life, like dream year kind of looks like, and you kind of see how all these things fit together. We want to do for every like 1 to 2 months at home, do about a month somewhere else. So we're gonna try to still keep that digital nomad-esque and really enjoy some place that's like a local, like the main thing we set out to do, right? But just do it for a shorter time period. We found those kind of long stints to be really hard on us, and not necessarily what we wanted to be doing all the time.
Yeah, travel had pretty much just like taken over our lives, and I think when we started, that's kind of what we thought our dream life would look like, was just it's like traveling all the time, no stop, you know, club, another club, flight, bus, no sleep. But yeah, as we went along, we sort of started to realize that that is not our dream life. Part of our dream life is 100% travel. So yeah, we still want to do like, you know, a couple months out of the year traveling around and everything. But we also really want to be able to focus on our health. Clearly, I am not doing so well. Just like personal growth, so like, you know, our mental, emotional state individually is very important. And our relationship, as well as our relationship with like our friends and our family. And we just weren't really able to give those the time that they needed while we were traveling full time. And so I think that's kind of like the new era of freedom to explore, is we're still gonna be traveling a ton, but we're gonna have also a deeper focus on those other areas that we mentioned.
So we talk about our dream year. We're talking about doing like 1 to 2 months travels for every 1 to 2 months we'll be at home. So to kind of give you an example of what this would look like in a year and kind of how we're kind of projecting next year to look like, is like January will be our month of skiing, staying up in the mountains and just skiing as much as possible. And then leaving there for warmer weather, because we're not built for the cold like I wish we were, and going to like South America. And then obviously coming back and spending some time here, enjoying our time with our friends and our family and doing various activities. And then hopefully jumping over and having a nice, you know, early European summer or something like that for a month. And then coming back again and then enjoying Denver for what it is in the summer. And then kind of like we're doing in a few days here, and going to Japan for a month in the fall, and kind of being one of our big fall trips, and then coming back and enjoying the holidays here with our friends and family over Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so that's kind of how we would love our kind of year to be mapped out. And I think it would be a good way for us to kind of balance the travel we want to do and experiencing places like locals, but not feeling like we need to be traveling all the time and don't have time for other things in our lives.
All right, so what is the future gonna look like? What can you expect from us? All that stuff.
All that jazz.
So we do have a very exciting trip coming up. We are going to Japan in a few days, which is insane because we have a lot of shit to do before we go. But we're really, really excited. It's been one of Quest's dream destinations for a very long time.
Shout Tokyo Drift. If you know, you know.
So we're very excited about that. We're gonna be there for a month, which is very exciting. So we're gonna get to like actually spend quite a lot of time in like quite a few cities. And we're gonna be in Tokyo for like 10 days to start out, which I think is really sick. And yeah, I think we'll just get a really good idea on what life in Japan is like.
Yeah, this will be our first, like, let's say, big trip since being digital nomads, where we're kind of trying out this new like lifestyle, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
There's more to come on how we're doing this exactly in the next video, but you know, this is a lot of steps that we're taking in order to be able to do this, and kind of changes that we're making to our lives to be able to allow us to do this both financially and like physically and emotionally. So we'll talk a lot more about that in the next video here, like I said. But I'm really excited for this trip. It's been a dream come true. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's also our first trip, like our first big international trip as digital nomads. Like,
oh, true, yeah.
I guess technically we were in Toronto, but I feel like that barely counts.
Doesn't count. It's basically
And then we did like, we were 2 weeks in Greece, but that was more just like a vacation. And like 2 weeks in Mexico, but that was also more just like a vacation. So like this month is gonna be like digital nomads, like Chris will be working. He has some meetings with this little Japan team. And so it'll be the first time that we're gonna be like in some far off place, having to like work and yeah, be in close quarters because
our place is tiny. Oh my God, the hotel I booked is, there's barely enough room for me in there, okay? Let alone 2 people.
So hopefully we don't get tired of each other.
Yeah. It's also my first time going to Asia. I've never been to Asia before, so I am super excited about that. I know it's gonna be a little bit of a culture shock, but I cannot be more pumped, honestly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna conclude with how Freedom to Explore is transitioning to a brand and kind of what to expect from us in the future. So the first major thing is you can expect to see a lot more content revolving around different facets of our life. Just like you, we are multifaceted people, and we're not just travel like we just was talking about.
Hey, multifaceted individual.
You haven't seen that commercial? It's just hilarious, Cookie Monster. But yeah, we're multifaceted individuals just like you are, and we have a lot more to our life than just travel. We want to kind of showcase those aspects of our life and how we're helping to optimize and maximize those portions of our life, so we're getting the most out of them, and it enables us to travel and have the most unique amount of experiences as possible. I think that's the biggest piece here, is like having more unique experiences, more memorable experiences.
We're still kind of trying to figure out, you know, like what that looks like and whatnot. There's still gonna be a lot of fun travel vlogs because we really enjoy making those. As for the other stuff, we're still kind of figuring out like what we want that to look like. So, you know, if you have something you want to see, go ahead and leave it in the comments.
All right, so that is gonna do it for today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed this quick little update on our life and what we've been up to and what's coming for the future here. If you did like it, you already know what to do. Smash that like button. Let us know in the comments what thing you're excited for most about us going to Japan, what do you want to see, and as always, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get a reminder every single time we post. FTX out.